So we want to welcome everybody to the first live streaming of the Mountain State Forest Festival Grand Feature Parade. This is the 86th Mountain State Forest Festival, and the parade is sponsored by and presented by Polino Contracting. I'm Ray Lamora. I'm here with
Jim Triplett.
and we're excited to just be talking about the parade as it comes through. We've live streamed the parade.
Right, yeah, exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Many years ago, I sat with Dee White, and we were at the courthouse, and we talked about the parade, and that was something that was just filmed and put on CDs, and people bought those CDs. But we're letting technology catch up with the Forest Festival, and live streaming this time for this year for the first time.
And it has to be great to touch the fan base of the people that for one reason or another cannot make it, or those people that are simply at work or not feeling well or whatever. So yeah, this is just great.
Yeah,
great
that's
to do.
It is. It is. We've got some friends who are Forest Festival supporters in New York and New Jersey, and I sent them the link this morning, and then I was guarding some chairs for the Knights of Columbus early this morning, and there was a guy there, and I mentioned to him that we were going to be live streaming, and he asked if I could give him the link. So we're trying to share this around as much as we can.
Yeah, sounds good, yes.
So our understanding is we've got a slight delay up to maybe 15 minutes for the parade to start.
Right.
And so we're kind of just stalled here for a second, waiting for the parade to actually start.
And man, there's going to be a lot of exciting things going on with the parade, Ray. Some things that we have seen in the past, and some newer things that we have not seen in the past. And I think it's going to be watching and listening.
Yep. Yes, that's the truth. And naturally, we will start with our industrial units, log truck division. Everybody's used to seeing them come through first.
Oh yes. Yes. And then of course last night, everybody saw the firemen's parade, and those people that didn't go to the Elkins game, they were able to watch the firemen's parade, and I'm sure it was a doozy just like it is every year.
Right. But I think you being at the Elkins High parade or Elkins High game was probably a highlight.
Oh, it was, yes. It was very exciting. Elkins comes away with a 1-point victory to move to 5-1 on the season, and second half of the season's coming, and it's not going to get any easier, trust me.
Yeah. How'd my friend Nick Bowers do?
Oh, Nick Bowers was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to say he had, he had well over 200 yards rushing last night.
Oh my gosh.
And he did get away with, or didn't get away, he broke away for like a 65-yard touchdown run early in the game, and it was just kind of a game that went back and forth, and Elkins was trailing 14-10 at halftime, and Demaniel and I were saying, well, we wonder what the coach has said to these players. So Elkins comes out, bam, they score, and we're like, wow, well, let's see what happened with Grafton. Grafton gets the ball, bang, they score. I mean, just a perfect game for a fan to be there to witness.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of active scoring going on in the second half.
Yes, sure was. And God only knows how much more scoring there would have been had there been another quarter or whatever. But fortunately for Elkins, they won it in regulation because Grafton went for a 2-point conversion and failed on that, and so Elkins ended up winning the game. Which you might say, well, why would Grafton do that? Well, Grafton was 1-4. They had nothing to lose. They were there in front of their in front of their home fans, and it was just a phenomenal game. And had I been Coach Foley, I probably would have did the same thing. Say, hey, let's do this. Let's do it tonight for the fans, and then we'll get some good publicity over this.
That's good. Yeah, it was probably a great game to be at.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing with Festival Week is every other year, Elkins gets to play at home in front of the festival crowd.
Right.
But of course, on the off years, travel. That's just the way the schedule works out.
Sure.
Home and away. Yeah.
Yep. I want to also mention that today our live stream is being presented by Colson Media. We have a parade route camera that's being operated by Tyler Belt, who is with Colson Media. So we should have some good video going on of the parade.
Oh yeah, the engineering is big time when it comes to things like this. You know, like you said, you know, we've got Tyler here, making sure that there's nothing that could possibly go wrong, and of course Phillips, you know, making sure that everything works out just as well. So, you know, definitely it takes a lot of people to make this really happen.
Yes. Just like the Forest Festival in general.
Yes, busy week. Did you take in a lot of the festival, Ray?
I did. I get to drive the trumpeters around to the school tours on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's always a really good time. The kids, those trumpeters are always a great group of kids, and you know, to go visit all the elementary schools. The
Right.
kids in the elementary schools get so excited to see Maid Sylvia, and
Exactly.
and they always put on, each school puts on a nice program, and we have a really good time doing that. So it's a busy, really busy 2 days for the whole court during that time.
Yes. Now, I was not privy to that this year because, of course, I just did retire as a teacher, but I substituted on Monday and Thursday. And, of course, the 2 days that Sylvia comes, you know, I was not there to take part in that.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, I'm not hearing any noise coming down the street yet, so we still don't have anybody coming down Davis Avenue. I don't know if anybody took in the firemen's parade last night, but I'm sure that was a real good time. I ran into a couple people early this morning, and they were from a fire department that was over by Philadelphia. So we still get fire department units coming from very far away to come to our Forest Festival Firemen's Parade.
Right. And that's always a plus. You know, and again, with social media the way it is today, Ray, it's just phenomenal. So people can, you know, catch on, and of course, you know, right now, probably the biggest advertisement for them is by word of mouth.
Yes.
And you know, people like you said asking you, like, how can I get on this? And you know, you telling them, and of course, them calling their family members and their friends, and you know, everybody else, and
Right.
that's what makes it happen.
Yes. Yeah, I think the Forest Festival's trying every year a little bit harder to get more of a platform on social media, whether it be you know, Facebook or Instagram. But that's the way everybody's getting to see things anymore.
Yes, and of course, all that stuff was before our time.
Yeah.
We have to
Yes.
learn and kind of, you know, go with the flow.
That's right.
But, you know, as you said, and also, you know, like yesterday, my wife and I, we went to City Park and Davis Elkins College and looked at all the crafts and, you know, everything that was going on. It's just amazing, all the things that you can do. You can't say that, oh, I went to the festival and, you know, I just didn't have enough to do. That's not the case.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if you
right.
don't have enough to do, then that's your own fault.
You know,
With
and-
everything that goes on in town.
Right, and you know, talking about you and your wife going out, I know you probably hit the craft shows at either the D&E
Yes,
the old
college,
gym.
yes. Mhm.
You know, we were there Thursday and noticed that they had more vendors this year than they had last year.
Right.
I mean, that place was packed with vendors, as was the craft show at the First United Methodist Church.
Yeah, I think it's all picking up now with COVID out of the way.
Right.
You know, when COVID hit, I mean, everything just went kapooey. But now, slowly, everything is working its way back to normal, so to speak, if there is a normal.
Right, right. I briefly went through Lumberjack this morning, and a huge crowd over there, as is normal.
Yeah, I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But, you know, as I said, you know, if you say you run out of time, it's your own fault.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so much to do.
Right.
And, you know, I still haven't had a chance yet to take the grandkids to the festival.
Okay,
And
to ride
they're
the
excited,
rides.
Yes, they're very
Yes.
excited about that. I know my son went yesterday, of course, yesterday being Kitty Day. And so, you know, that made a difference. And I saw all kinds of pictures on Facebook, you know, about how they were having such a good time. And, you know, again, that's part of the festival. And the 1 week that, you know, Elkins can say, you know, wow, what a great time.
Yes.
For the, you know, the Mountain State Forest Festival.
Yep. It's a week. We put up with a crowd we're not used to, but like you said, there's a lot going on, a lot of things to take advantage of. I know the entertainment that's been down on
Right.
the stage has been very good. And unfortunately, I think we had one rain out night that they had to move that up to the high school.
Right.
But fortunately, we've got a great connection with the high school, so that when we do have a problem like that, we can move up to the gym at the high school. So, yeah, we're fortunate for everybody that helps support the festival.
Right. And all the other things like the pet show, just all kinds of different things. You have something you like doing, you can almost name it, and it's going to be here.
Yes.
Somewhere
Yes.
you'll find it here at the Forest Festival.
Yeah. Yeah, the pet show was. We went to the pet show. Did you go to the pet show?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Man,
do
there were
that.
a lot of animals there for the pet show.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you see all this in the local news, and you hear about it, and you see it on Facebook. Like we were talking about social media, and it's just amazing in today's world. What if you say I missed it? Well, guess what? You have an opportunity that you can find it somewhere.
Yes, yes. Well, we're going to have a really nice day. The sun is shining. It's really bright out. And unfortunately, some people are going to have seats in the parade that are going to be in the sun. There are going to be a lot of sunburns today.
Yes.
And the people who are in the shaded part of the town are going to be a lot better off. But we get both, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And
Some years
actually-
it's better to be in the sun.
Yes. And actually, when I was walking over here from the park, I noticed people already in their seats way before time, just to sit there and communicate and have some family time or whatever. And some of the beautiful trees, I saw some people that were able to get those seats, and I could see the people around them, like kind of glancing, like, "Oh, I wish I would have had that seat. I wish I could have had that seat."
That's right.
But again, as you said, temperature, right around the mid 70s, and it's going to stay that way throughout the parade, and it's just going to be a beautiful day for everything else until the conclusion. I think the weather's supposed to hold up even through tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I noticed you're in a short sleeve shirt. I'm in a long sleeve shirt. But I came into town this morning at 10 minutes till 6. It was a lot cooler
Oh, yeah.
at 6 o'clock this morning, and but I've been going pretty steady from 6 o'clock on with several things I had to get accomplished today. So. Again, we'll mention that the parade, our main sponsor for the parade is Polino Contracting. Chris Polino has been the parade sponsor for many, many years. We really appreciate his support.
Yes. Christopher does so much for the community. People don't really realize, but he's one of the bigger people to make this happen year after year. His time, his effort, and his workers. Everybody. I mean, it's just a phenomenal thing.
Yes, yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, we're fortunate from the Forest Festival side that we do have so many repeat sponsors, and they all know what it takes to actually pull this thing off. The Forest Festival is totally run by volunteers.
Right.
We have probably somewhere between 80 and 100 events throughout all over town, and it takes a committee of volunteer workers to pull off every one of those events, and it takes sponsorship money to help get those events through. The big one we talked about this morning was the logging competition.
Mm-hmm.
We give away a lot of monetary prizes. We have participants there come from the state of Oregon, Washington State, sometimes Canadian provinces. So we bring people in from all over for that event.
Yes, and that means so much to the community. I mean, you're getting a taste of different cultures and heritages, and it just comes right along. And going back to what you had mentioned about everything being volunteer, I mean, I cannot say enough about the people that put this together. And this is not something, Ray, that you can say, okay, well, in August or September we'll start this.
Oh yeah.
No, when does it start? It's probably going to start in November to start it for the next year.
November is a pretty easy month for
Mm-hmm.
the folks that are involved in the festival. They usually have a wrap-up meeting either late in November or early in December.
Mm-hmm.
But by mid-December, the new Director General is already reaching out to folks that he or she wants to have serve as assistant directors, and then they start having monthly meetings in January.
Yeah, and not only that, but you have your director general, and he or she, like you said, they pick the volunteers to come. Now, those volunteers aren't just somebody that can say, well, I'm glad to be a part of this. No, they're assigned different things, and they put so much time and effort into making sure that everything works.
Yes.
And I mean, it's not just a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day commitment. You're committed for the get-go.
That's right. That's right.
And again, as we've said, there's a little bit of a delay, but once we get started, I think it's just going to go very smooth, and nothing to worry about. Just be patient right now and hang in there. We've seen delays in the past. This by far isn't the first, and it won't be the last by any means.
That's correct.
And it's just like the parade when you're watching it, and all of a sudden there's a wait, where's the next section? Where's the next section? And it's back there. It's coming.
Yes.
But
yes.
For some reason or another, you get delayed, and that just happens. It just really happens.
Well, one thing we're real fortunate this year. We at least are able to have the Pride of West Virginia.
Yes, I had forgotten about that. Exactly, and that's always big when WVU marching band comes here. And that's just phenomenal. For them to come, especially when West Virginia plays tonight.
Correct.
But it's always nice to have, and again, that goes with the planning of the festival. All these volunteers. I mean, it's not people calling and saying, "Hey, do you want us to come?" Well, maybe to a degree it is, but these people also are out finding all the folks that are involved to come to this festival and to be a part of it.
Yes, that's right.
It's a week it's a family week, and that's exactly, I think, in the minds of the people that are in charge of the festival. We're going to make this a nice, fun family week and a community week for Elkins.
Yes, we always try to get one of those real big bands. Unfortunately, there's not too many of those in West Virginia.
Exactly.
But we do have some rather large high school bands that are always good to have come in as well. Another thing that we have again this year that is a crowd favorite is the Indianapolis Police Motorcycle Drill Team.
Yes.
I saw them performing a couple times this morning already. And I took the time to point out to them where our camera is set up on the roof. So hopefully they'll do something good for us when they're in our vision.
Yeah, that's going to be wonderful by all means. Yes. But again, there's going to be a lot more, and as Ray said, there's just a few big things that we're able to capture. But again, the work of the people that are on the committee, they do such a fine job at finding these people and getting them. And like we discussed before, this is not just something that happens in a week or a month time period. It's keeping in touch the whole year, really.
Yes, it is.
The whole year.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to be neat because I do have an opportunity as broadcasting Elkins games. I get to see a lot of these high school bands perform at halftime.
Yes.
When I do the football and basketball games, and it's just phenomenal as to how much work that the band directors put in. And I mean, I'll probably every week I say, if I went to this school, I'd probably want to be in the band. And that's everywhere that we see a band. And that's just, again, the hard work and determination that these folks put in. And part of the reward is they get to come here, and then there's a band show here too, also.
Oh yes.
And that's a humongous thing. It's going to be at the high school this year, which is
right.
On the artificial turf, and it's just going to be a fun night.
That is another very, very large event, and yes, WVU band will be participating
Yes.
in that, and the high school bands all look forward to the band field competition, which is this evening after the parade.
And there's so much work also put into that, and people, like I said, people just don't realize how much time, how much effort that individuals that volunteer their time to do to make all this happen.
Yes. Well, I think I finally hear some noise behind
I do
us.
too, yeah.
So we do.
The
Yes.
senior center.
The senior
you
center
know,
has
they,
a craft
they
show.
have a good craft
That's
show
right.
as well. Yes.
So yeah, there's at least 3 different craft shows.
And then of
yes.
course you have quilting that goes on, and
Right.
you know all the fine people around here, and there's still a lot of people that do quilts.
Right, we're right here where we are in the YMCA. I stuck my head over in the into the quilt exhibit, and my God, that's huge over there. So they have a lot of quilts, really nice work by a lot of folks.
Yes, and what a family event that is, and how much time it takes. I know my mom and my sister went to a quilting class, and they made a quilt.
Yes.
And it was just, you know, the family setting again to get together to learn a certain skill and do it, and hopefully pass it on to
Yep.
keep it going. You know, keep it going.
Well, last year too, my grandchildren had quilts that they went to a class at the sewing center.
Yes, that's where Elkins Sewing Center.
Right,
Yes.
and so too, my grandchildren had quilts last year displayed. They didn't participate in that this year, but there are a bunch of children's quilts. So I know that the sewing center is still actively doing that.
Yes. Yes, kudos to them. I mean, you know, they put forth a lot of hours too that they give to the community, and you know, and do things, and you know, and even if they charge.
Yes, and if you're really into quilts, they do have a really nice quilt they're raffling off. But again, another part of Forest Festival is walking around town, and there's several people raffling off lots of things along the streets of town. And then back in the city park, there's several people that have raffles of different things. Some of them craft items and different things.
Oh, a lot of different things.
Woodworking.
And one thing I needed to stay away from yesterday is when the Randolph County Humane Society comes in and they have their adopt a pet.
Right.
I mean, I could take all those pets around.
Oh yeah, my gosh, yes.
So I have to stay away.
Yes,
Yes, and they do a great service for the community as well.
they do. They
And
do, yeah.
The animal shelter, they do shelter those animals until they do get adopted.
Yeah, and I'm speaking about the park. I just very briefly went through there today, so I didn't do that justice. I need to get back over to the park and see all the things that are over there.
Yes. Well, my wife and I spent a good while there yesterday, and then we went to, of course, to college, and you know, spend a little more time there. But today we went back to the park, and you know, in looking to see, you know, what all was going on, and of course all the food vendors. My goodness.
Oh yes.
Anything you want, it's there.
Yes, yeah,
It's
plenty
there.
of food vendors there, as well as downtown here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. I spent yesterday on Coronation Hill, and a day like today, very sunny and hot. It was nice. It was nice to not have to worry about rain or inclement weather.
Always a bonus.
Coronation went off wonderfully.
And
And
again, all the work that the people put in for that.
Yes.
You know, the stage and how
Yes.
they decorate
Right.
year after year. It's just amazing the talent
Yep.
that we have right here in this community.
Well, and a lot of people's favorite is to watch the jesters go down.
Yes.
Not so much the Queen, but to watch
Oh,
the
yeah.
jesters
Yeah.
perform all the way down that hill.
Exactly.
But the Queen and the gown, that was a very lovely gown. So
Oh yeah, and you know, kudos to Connie Linger. She does a lot of that, and
Yes.
she is just awesome.
yeah, well, all those costumes, the maids,
Yes.
all the children in the minor court, Woodley.
Mhm. And also, it's also nice, Ray, to walk through town and see all the apparel that was worn in the past years.
Yes,
And you see them, you know, in just about every storefront has
just
it.
about every storefront. You're
And
right.
It is just amazing just
Yeah.
to look at that and look at the year and say, wow, how
Yeah,
amazing is this?
we've got a good collection. I know Forest Festival. We've got a lot of the Queen's gowns and the maids' gowns have been donated to us.
Right.
So we fill up a lot of those windows, but a lot of the families that have their children's costumes for when they were in the minor court, you know, they bring them out and get them displayed. And like you said, just about every business has a display.
Yeah, it's always I mean, if nothing else, you could just go around and look at this. And again, the apparel from the years. And I'm not sure exactly. I know it goes several years back that some of the store owners still have.
Yes.
And it's just amazing to look at what they wear today compared to 40 years ago. Some of the store,
Yeah, that's right.
people have.
That's right.
And it's just amazing, all the effort and love that's put into that, and to keep it going. And of course, the people that are kind enough to donate back, what they've had, because they were part of this Forest Festival history, and a part of them is still here when they do that.
An interesting story. Sue and I were at a yard sale. This goes back probably 2 or 3 years, but we found somebody was selling the first train bearer outfits.
Really?
And we found it in a box that they were selling, and we were able to talk those people into donating those costumes back to the Forest Festival.
Oh,
yes.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
It's funny, some of the things you can pick up, by going to these yard sales and estate sales. And
True.
We've collected a lot of Forest Festival memorabilia.
Yeah, I never really thought about that, but now that you mention it, yeah, I'm sure. And
yes.
That was a treasure.
Oh yeah.
That you found.
Yes. Yes.
And again, kudos to the people that were willing to give back to the community.
Right. We still have plenty of cars coming through this this division, and some good-looking cars. I know you probably just saw a little bit there. We had a couple very good-looking old Corvettes.
Yes.
And there's some people wanting
some
to
of them showing
make
off
some
a little
noise.
bit.
Yes.
And the kids love that.
Yes, they do. Yeah, look at that crowd. I mean, my gosh, we've had a good crowd build up just since we started.
Yes, pretty amazing. And of course, as we've mentioned before, with COVID stopping this, and now you look at today, there are more cars today than there were last year.
Oh yes.
Antique cars. And
yes.
People coming to show them off, and just about every make that you can think of that's antique, it's here. It is here.
When we actually have 3 parades. We have this grand feature parade, we have the firemen's parade, but we also start the week off with the children's parade.
Children's parade. That's
and
correct.
We were fortunate to get that in. If you remember, the weather was pretty inclement the beginning part of the week, but we were able to get that in between rainstorms, and everybody got through there without getting wet. So we were fortunate we got the children's parade in, and that's another big feature event. Kids get a lot of kids out. They like that parade.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned inclement weather, and of course, we've been here long enough to see it all. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, I mean, everything. And for today to be in the 70s, it's like, wow.
Yes.
You just never know with the weather around this area.
Yes. It can change quickly.
Yes, it can.
And we've seen it happen. Again, we can give a thank you out to Colson Media for helping us live stream this for the very first time, the 86th Mountain State Forest Festival. That Phillips Colson is a pretty creative guy.
Oh, indeed he is. Yes, indeed. And then, of course, he has a little help there from his buddy,
Tyler
Belt. Yeah, Tyler Belt. And it was nice to walk in here and have the welcoming, from Mr. Colson and Tyler and you.
Right.
It just made me feel like, wow, hey, guess what? You're a part of this now, and it's really worth the while. I mean, I do like it. And still, we see a lot of antiques coming our way.
Another thing, Jim, we've been fortunate over some years. It's been a while now, but we have had some presidential visits.
Yes.
And I know you were around for some of those. Haven't had one in a long time, but I understand that Secret Service they don't like presidents to put themselves out there in a parade very much anymore. But I remember when I was going to college here, um, we got to see Gerald Ford come through twice.
Right.
And that's always a big deal when you can get the president coming to your festival. But I think even as far back as Harry Truman was here, I can't remember who the very first president was that came, but we've had some presidents. When if you remember Jennings Randolph, when Jennings Randolph was our senator, he's the one that used to get the presidents to come here.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to know him and get to know him a little bit, and he was a tremendous guy.
Yes, I met the senator on a couple of different occasions during the festival, and always such a wonderful person. Of course, he had our backs all the time.
Yes.
Just a wonderful man, and of course, the honor of having a highway named after him, a school named after him.
Yes.
Just amazing what was and what will be.
Well, he did a lot for our state, a lot for our county. We've been fortunate to have some good political leadership, associated with Elkins and Randolph County.
Yes, we have. And we still see the antiques rolling. And one thing I like too about the antiques are the different sounds of their horns from the years past. And,
yes.
And how they, do their thing.
But I think we're seeing a break coming here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Might be toward the end of the antique vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And then we may have a slight break in between.
Yes.
I can take this time to tell you a little bit about our Queen Sylvia this year.
Okay.
Our Queen Sylvia hails from Ona, West Virginia, and she does have a little bit of a local connection through her granddad. So our Queen Sylvia this year, like I said, is from Ona. Miss Lily Harper Ryan, and she's the daughter of a retired Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Chip Floyd and Amy Floyd of Ona. She is the granddaughter of Frank and Laura Santmeyer of Elkins, Jim and Diana Sturm of Huntington, Norwin and Donna Lilly of South Charleston, Joe and Janet Richards of Charleston, Sander Dennison of Ona, and the late Jerry Floyd of Ona. She has one brother, Jackson Santmeyer, and two sisters, Anna and Erin Floyd. Now, when I talk about Frank and Laura Santmeyer, naturally you know Frank very well. He's been associated with the Forest Festival for very many years, and he still gets real excited about the Forest Festival, so I know he's real excited to have his granddaughter be a part, especially the Queen. So I think I hear the rest of the parade catching up. So we'll be coming upon the honor division. And we talked about the whole parade, the Grand Feature Parade being sponsored by Polino Contracting, but the honor division is also presented by WVU Medicine UHC for University Health Center.
And we sure can't do it without our sponsors.
That's correct.
I definitely appreciate anyone and everyone that has given a little bit to make this happen as big an event as this.
That's right. And that should be the banner that we're seeing right now.
Yes, it is. Grand Feature Parade, Polino Contracting.
We can hear the police sirens in the background.
And of course, kudos to our Elkins Police Department and state police and sheriff. Couldn't do it without them as well. I mean, they keep everything going the way it should go, and to make sure that everything's in check, and to make sure, especially, that everybody has a good, safe time here
Yes.
while they're in town.
Yes. Well, and again, talking about the the school tours that happen on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're fortunate that we do have city police, county sheriff police, and state police that all travel with us, because we travel all over the county, everything from Pickens to Valley Head to Harmon,
Right.
all the schools in town. So yes, we put a lot of miles on the vehicles, and the police units are there to help us get through traffic and be able to keep up the hectic pace that we have to do during that school tour,
And to keep everyone safe.
and keep everyone safe. So we definitely appreciate our law enforcement.
And a little delay. I can't see them coming yet,
But we can hear them.
but we can hear them. Yes, definitely hear the sirens. And you've been involved with the festival, you and your wife, for many, many years. And how does it make you feel being part of this?
I still-
throughout the years.
Yeah, I still totally enjoy the Forest Festival. I look forward to it every year. Does become a hectic week. Maybe for the folks who are assistant directors, they have a lot of hecticness throughout the year.
Right.
But yeah, we both seem to do quite a bit during the week of. So, but we both look forward to it. Sue had her committee from 1973. She got involved right away from 1973, and she served in that Queens Department committee until about 4 years ago.
Right.
So that was a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
She was.
That's
She
close
was-
to 50 years.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, so she actually started well before I did. I don't have quite as many years as Sue does.
But I'm sure, through the years you've heard wonderful stories about, all the things that she's done and she's been involved in, and how, little changes here and there, but not a whole lot when it really comes down to it.
Yes.
But, just everything that she's put into it. And I'm sure that kind of made you think, well, maybe, Sue, I need to get into this too.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And, yeah.
And our daughter is involved, and she's this is her first year as an assistant director. So she's kind of carrying on the family tradition here. But a lot of times we'll have committee chairpersons who serve quite that long. I remember when we used to have the jousting event, and when I was first brought on as assistant director, that was one of the events that I had, and I had that for several years. And the chairperson of that event, the person that ran that event, when I started, he was in his 50th year of being the chairperson of that event. And they were from over by Petersburg, somewhere over in that area. But yeah, so I know several long-standing chairpersons that just stay involved.
Yeah.
And if you're an assistant director and you have an event where you have a chairperson that's been involved for that long, that's a really easy event for you as the assistant director, because that person is going to be taking care of everything.
Yes, very meticulous.
He
in
or
what
she
they
is
do.
going to have a
Right.
good committee of people that are used to doing the work that they do to pull off that event.
And then, it's kind of neat because you look up to them as when you take over, people look up to you, and the tradition just stays.
Yes.
And it's passed on, and it just keeps it the way it is. A fun family gathering for the whole week for not only the Elkins community but surrounding areas as well.
Yes, that's right.
Oh yeah, now we can hear them and see them.
Yes. And naturally, we're going to be led off by the Elkins Police Department.
Yes, as it should be.
I said I was down here from like 6 o'clock this morning. I was walking from the courthouse back over to this part of town, and out there early this morning was Chief Bennett cleaning up his own car,
Yeah.
polishing the car, and I stopped and chatted with him. I said, "Don't you have somebody else that could be cleaning your car?" And he said, "No, nobody would do it the way I want it." So.
Yes, kudos to the chief. He's
Yes.
done a fantastic job here
Yes.
for the City of Elkins.
Yes, he has. So, hats off to Chief Bennett. I think we seem to have lost our feed here a little bit.
Yes, we have.
Did we lose our picture? But we still have several police units coming through from
we
the
are.
City of Elkins, who will be followed directly by the Randolph County Sheriff's Department.
And Sheriff Elbin has been an asset. He's been involved in a lot of different things too, in the Elkins community, and starting things and making sure that things that have already been in place continues to take place.
Yes.
And then to get officers in schools, that's an amazing feat in itself.
Yeah, and those folks are really good. Again, going to the school tours and visiting, and we had some of those officers with us, and those kids just gravitate toward
Yes, they do.
those officers who are in their schools a lot.
And it's important for the kids to know that the police aren't bad people.
Oh my gosh, no,
they
that's
are
right.
here to help us.
Yes.
In any time of need. So, don't be afraid of them. I mean, and I think that's part of the thing too, when these police officers get into the schools and they really bond with the kids big time.
Yes, they do. They will, and I mean, talking to one of those guys, they step in and they actually teach some classes. They do a lot of counseling.
Right.
So we're fortunate to have them in the school system.
And how about the Highlanders?
Yes.
Gotta love the Highlanders.
They've been associated with the Forest Festival for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
The West Virginia Highlanders, who are now associated with D&E. Davis and Elkins College Highlanders.
And then I see Peggy Phillips.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about Peggy.
I don't see Junior. He must have gotten lost. No, there he is. He's probably throwing a candy.
Yes. And that's the assistant director float. Those are the folks that work all year long.
Yes.
So each assistant director will have, depending on the size of the event, they'll have anywhere from 3 to 6 events.
Right.
And their job is to get a chairman and a committee to actually put on the event, and their role is more of a management role, but they have to make sure all those folks have everything they need to put the event on. So whatever resources are necessary, they'll help get those.
And now we see the board president Lydia Jones and her husband Grant.
Correct. And again, Lydia's been she's been a part of the Forest Festival for many, many years. As a matter of fact, when I was the Director General in 2003, Lydia was a princess in my festival. Lydia naturally was born and raised here in Elkins, graduated from Elkins High School.
I actually had Linda Wagner as a music teacher.
Okay.
Oh, look here coming. Oh, the pride of West Virginia.
Here we are, WVU marching band. So we might just take a little
listen.
Yes, yes.
How wonderful.
Group of performers.
And we're not on the calendar. That's West Virginia.
Yes. I think we have, 3 or 4 Elkins kids still in the band this year. Watching the WVU football game on TV. My wife just absolutely hates it when it comes to halftime, and they put all the announcers on critiquing the game, and she would much rather watch the band.
And believe it or not, as an announcer, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say anything negative, which I'm not by any means, but I'm like, I love bands.
Yes.
And you look at what their compromises, and I'm sure that there's hundreds of people in the band, and several of those are from the state.
Right.
And their families, they'll be coming here to see them, and,
Yes.
and cheer them on, and to be a part of the festival.
Well, I know we go through a lot to be able to bring them in. We don't get them every year.
Right.
I was fortunate I had them during my festival. You just think of the number of buses it takes to bring this whole group in here, and then naturally, they're going to be here all day today till late tonight because they do the band field show. So we have to set up, provide meals for them.
And another thing, to just allude to the fact that you as being part of this festival and everything, you can't just call West Virginia band and say, "Can you come next year?"
Oh no,
they are booked up for 6, 7 years.
Correct. Yes.
And it's really tough.
Yes.
Again, the hard work it takes that somebody that may have had the opportunity to get this band to come to Elkins may not even be in the festival.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
that's right.
There again, it's just a lot of things, a lot of planning, a lot of planning.
Yeah, and fortunately, they kind of keep us in mind.
Yes. I get goosebumps on my arms when I see the West Virginia marching band.
And hear that song. Should be our honorary parade marshal, who has also been a big part of the WVU marching band. This is Paula Mayer Stout, PhD. She's been a part of WVU marching band for over 50 years, serving as a featured twirler and then joining the band staff in 1981.
Nice to have the pride of West Virginia and someone that's involved with the pride of West Virginia.
Yes. Now, who do we have there? I think that's Attorney General Patrick Morrissey.
And again, the kids are loving the candy.
I think I know somebody that's walking with Patrick Morrissey, and I think I know that little child who's throwing some candy out there.
All right.
Yes. Those be maybe 2 Lamora grandchildren there.
Awesome. look quite strong enough yet to throw a piece to us up here.
No, no, and Felicity has a broken arm, so
Yeah,
that's
well, okay.
that's really hurting her. And also following them closely is West Virginia State Senator Mark Hunt.
And it's nice to see politicians take time out of their schedule to come
Right.
and be part of this.
Yes. You know, a Forest Festival rule is that we allow politicians, if they're standing, if they have a political office, if they're holding a political office, we don't allow everybody who's running. I mean, you can imagine how crowded that would get for the field if everybody was able to come in. But if they're a current office holder, then naturally we allow them in and enjoy having them in. So you know, we get our agriculture commissioner, but you know, a lot of these same political people participate in the coronation ceremony.
Yes.
You know, we have the commissioner of agriculture is always part of the coronation ceremony, as well as many other dignitaries. You know, we've been fortunate enough to have the governor crown our queen most years. Governor didn't make it this year, but Mac Warner was able to step in. Secretary of State Mac Warner was the person who crowned our queen this year.
I think, you know, what a shame, because I'm sure Baby Dog would have been a big hit.
Oh yeah, Baby Dog
The
is always a
governor
big
would have
hit
been
for West Virginians. That looks like our mayor and his wife, Mayor Jerry Marco and his wife Paula.
Yes. They're walking the streets, as you see Jerry do quite often.
Yes.
And it's an honor for me to know them, because I graduated high school with Paula.
Okay.
Yes, we were same year graduates and been friends ever since. And both went into the teaching field and retired from the teaching field.
Okay. Our mayor doing things that mayors do.
Exactly. And you know, Jerry has some great ideas that he passes on, and you know, he's always willing to have community involvement in every decision he makes for the city of Elkins. And I really respect that. There's the Queen's parents, it looks like.
That's the Queen's parents. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Jerry and his wife Amy Floyd.
And yeah, and it's nice to have people like them that have ties and are familiar with the community. And you know, and that speaks a lot to them.
Yeah, this brings people to Elkins more and more. They have a good time here, and they come and visit us again.
Yes,
many
exactly.
times.
And I'm sure this is by far not their first rodeo here.
Correct.
As part of
Correct.
the festival. Yes.
And on this festival float, we have Queen Sylvia Lily Harper Ryan, the Queen Sylvia the 86th, and her royal court. And I can take the time, I think, right now to go through some of those folks that are members of the royal court.
Yeah.
We have Tinsley Harris, the crown bearer. Kennedy Mongold is the scepter bearer. Elena Bender, a flower girl. Adeline Cooper, a flower girl. Olivia Howell, a flower girl. Lillian James, a flower girl. Two train bearers, Colt DeBolt and Beckett Pritt. Our royal jesters, who are performing as we speak. That's Olivia Shabu, Eva Collier, Hollyana Huffman, and Gwyneth Walters, and they do such a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
Trumpeters, who I got to know a bit this week, Luca Collier, Gracelyn Gooding, Preston Heron, Aiden Lowther, and Levi Workman. Every year we have 2 Boy Scouts and 2 Girl Scouts. Our 2 Boy Scouts this year, Isaac Elmore, Jansen Hardy, and the Girl Scouts Mackenzie Swiger and Anna Talbot, and naturally Woodley the Elf, Riley Weeks.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Woodley, Woodley the Elf float.
And speaking of Woodley,
and you look at all the hard work that these kids put in. Again, their talent is
Yes.
what brings them here.
Yes.
And some of the posters you look at, I'm like, how in the world can I be somebody to decide just
right, yep. Well, and I think I was telling you earlier, 1974, we actually had 2 Woodleys.
Yes, you did tell me that.
I
was
wasn't
not
here
aware of
then,
that.
so I don't know the circumstances around that. And you probably know who our first Woodley was ever.
Our first Woodley ever?
Yes. Jamie McGee.
Yes, Jamie McGee.
Yeah, Jamie McGee,
was,
who's now
a
Jamie
couple
McGee
years
Cup.
ahead of me in high school. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So Jamie was our first Woodley.
And see, I did not realize that. So I'm learning stuff about the festival as well. And I've been here for years and years and years, and I've known Jamie for all these years, and I did not know that.
Right. So the next two floats are queens. So or our princesses. I'm sorry. And typically we try to have 40 princesses. The whole idea of the princesses in the Forest Festival is we try not to have a lot of princesses from Elkins and Randolph County, and even the surrounding counties. The whole idea when the Forest Festival started was to get princesses from all the other counties around the state, so that we would bring more people to our area to showcase, our highland region of the state of West Virginia, our mountainous counties. So we still try very hard to get, princesses from farther out counties to come, and we get their families to come in, and naturally, it's not just mom and dad that come, but brothers, sisters,
yes.
aunts and uncles, grandparents. So that's what fills up all the rooms, so you can't get a motel room.
And look what it does for the community.
Right.
Right. Big plus.
And these girls enjoy it. It's a brief period of time, 2 or 3 days that they're here, but they get to know each other, and they make new friendships that last a lifetime. So
Yes.
yeah, the princesses really have a great time, and they get to do some things specific together. So next we have the honor band, which is the Winfield High School Marching Band, and again they're an award-winning band. Naturally from Winfield, they've won a lot of awards. 22 and 23, they were Mountain State Forest Festival Grand Champion and Honor Band, which happens at the Van Field Show. 22 and 23, they also won the Oil and Gas Festival Grand Champion and the Sound in the Valley Grand Champion. I'm not sure where that was, but yeah, they're a very accomplished band. This should be Mountain Valley Bank with our Royal Scouts. 2 Boy Scouts, 2 Girl Scouts.
Yes.
And that logo on the back of the float is the same as the pin that Peggy had made up for this year. Pretty clever design, showing some of the amusement rides down in the downtown. That's Davis Trust Company with the 85 Mountain State Forest Festival Royal Court. So last year's Royal Court is on that float.
And we have another antique car, and I wonder if that's who is escorting our commissioner per se.
That's right.
And lots of photo ops. And you can see all kinds of people with their cameras, sending pictures throughout the United States, I'm sure. The family members everywhere.
Right.
I'm sure there's croissant.
Yes. Another one of our county commissioners.
Keep Randolph County going.
Sure thing, Elkins High School band coming up.
Robert the Tigers.
Another very good band.
Indeed. It's always nice to hear them perform a halftime show during the Elkins High football games.
Yes.
It's also nice to see the Tiger marching bands. They go to different genres and different parades throughout the state, and even a few out of state. Seth Blake does a wonderful job.
And he's been there with them now, what, 20 years?
The Davis Elkins College homecoming parade.
That's what we should have here.
You do see with the big flags, there's a slight, probably necessary breeze for people.
Yes.
Davis Elkins College, hidden in the hills of West Virginia. You told me that's where you graduated from.
That's where I came to school here and stayed.
I'm actually from here. I graduated from Davis Elkins College.
Yes. Okay. Davis and Elkins College President Chris and Lisa Wood. D&E always has a good group of local students as well as some foreign students. They get a lot of West Virginia students. When I came here, we didn't get a lot of local students at D&E. A lot of students were from out of state, but over the years they've worked to attract more of the local students.
Yeah, and I believe that that's one of their goals, really, because when I went to college at Davis Elkins in the '80s, there were not a lot of local people there then.
Right.
And as you said, there were a lot of foreign students, students from other parts of the state or even other states, depending on why they come. Some, of course, on scholarships for sports, and others come here because they really like the land and the area of the Elkins area. And now I know that Chris Wood is doing his best, and people before him trying to get more locals involved in coming and staying in the state of West Virginia.
Yes, that's right. And it's amazing that the local banks, we have several local banks, and they all partner up to make sure that Davis and Elkins College is able to stay current with building needs and scholarship needs. So just a good place to be.
And they also have a wonderful alumni association there, committee. A lot of those people involved in that are from Elkins. And I'm sure one time or another you were one of those people, if not now even.
Correct. Yes.
So another little break between things, and we'll see what happens here. And Davis and Elkins has always recruited a lot of international students, throughout the years, ever since I can remember, and they still do. And also Davis and Elkins is very good to the community as far as outreaching and letting them use their facilities for the upward bound programs and use their facilities for youth basketball.
Oh yes, right.
And all that. And so, hats off to them as a big part of the community.
Well, when I came to play soccer, and D&E had a very good soccer program at that time, and fortunately they still have a really good soccer program.
Yes, they always do.
Right now.
They always do. And and most likely if they're not ranked, they're very respected in their conference.
Oh, yes.
Because they know at any given day, Davis and Elkins have the athletes that can, really do it.
Well, we have a little break right now, but that's because we're seeing a performance by the Indianapolis Police Motorcycle Drill Team, and we'll just have to watch these guys for a little bit. But these folks put on a tremendous show, and what they can do with these motorcycles is amazing.
Yes, it is. And look at all the hours these guys put into this just to make it right.
Yes, that's right. Besides doing regular police work.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I took the time this morning to walk down, introduce myself, and show them where our rooftop camera is, so that Tyler Belt up there could get some good pictures of what's going on. Look at this.
They are definitely living up to their expectations and standards.
Yes, they've been with us now for several years, and we're glad to have them come back every year. So this is the Indianapolis Police Motorcycle Drill Team.
And and also you think once the people are invited and start coming, and they love the area and the atmosphere, of course they want to come back.
I don't know if you know this about this group in particular, but they will also take time while they're here for several days. They'll go visit nursing homes. They'll go to the children's home, and just do some community outreach. So they're not here just for the parade. They put on several shows throughout town at different times, but they will also, like I said, go out and reach out to some of these other places. I forget how many nursing homes they visit, but I know it's more than one. And again, the children's home, the mountain school, so they make themselves very visible.
Yes.
And here they come again.
Wow. And like you said, besides what they do as their full-time job and the time that they put into making this go just perfect. And not only do the kids like this, but the adults too. I love watching this every year.
Oh yes, absolutely. So as you know, we judge the floats that come through our parade, and so I was just sent a text telling us who the float winners were.
Oh, okay.
So I can tell us those names right now. Special Olympics, the Strawberry Festival float, the Randolph County Fair, the Rivers of Living Water, and the first place winner was the Elkins Mountain School. And they just told me that the Elkins Mountain School really pulled out all the stops on following the theme of timeless tradition, which is the theme that Peggy took for her festival. So apparently they pulled out all the stops following the theme of timeless tradition, and that's what helped them attain the first place award for the float.
Congratulations.
So we'll have to watch as those floats come through. Like I said, they had a performance. This drill team had a motorcycle drill team had a performance earlier this morning. I think it was about 11 o'clock, and I'm sure they'll do one this evening,
Right.
and even one or two tomorrow. Fun to watch, and again, a very much a crowd favorite.
Yes. And it's just amazing the hush that comes among the crowd and then the applause.
Yes. That was the Indianapolis Police Motorcycle Drill Team. Thanks for coming to Forest Festival.
And being part of the honor division
Yes.
of the Mountain State Force. And speaking of people that actually do more than anyone knows, National Guards.
Yes.
Definitely could not live without these people.
Right. You know, we're fortunate. We have the National Guard unit, but we also have an Army Reserve unit here in Elkins. So I think that we just missed seeing, that was Queen Sylvia, the 41st. Queen Sylvia Mary Elizabeth Poindexter Williams and her husband, Mayor Steve Williams, who happens to be the mayor of Huntington.
Yes.
So this is the 86th Mountain State Forest Festival. She was the 41st. I think that's who Phillips Colson was with earliest. Or no, that was whichever queen, 73rd. But you know, we had I think we have at least 5 former queens who came to visit this year. I think we had 5 show up at the distinguished guest dinner. And if I remember, all 5 were at the coronation as well. You know, speaking of distinguished guest dinner, I don't know if you had a chance to attend that, but Peggy had a tremendous speaker, a girl by the name of Janine Driver, who is an expert in reading body language. And she trained through the FBI. That's how Peggy got to know her. But she now has her own business, and she's very much in demand by lawyers for different crime things. She's on Court TV quite often, but she has a very unique way of telling you how to read people's body language. She was really an excellent speaker, and if you look her up sometime on the internet, Janine Driver, she was a phenomenal speaker, and decided not only to come for that, but she's staying the weekend as well, participating in other events.
Okay, here's Division 1, presented by House Hunter Real Estate, the Bridgeport High School Marching Band.
Another good band.
Oh, yes.
Very big band.
Yes. Bridgeport Indians.
Yeah, so in 2023, they were the runner-up for the Mountain State Forest Festival overall grand championship.
Here's the folks that I also love to see year in and year out, the Randolph County Special Olympics. They have their floats. And I think it's been a while since Elkins has hosted some of the Olympics, but here and there that happens.
Right.
In Elkins. And speaking of the college, I can remember one year when the Special Olympians had their basketball float there in the old gymnasium.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. I remember that. So again, that Special Olympic float was one of our
Yes.
our winners in the float competition.
Congratulations for all their hard work.
Yes. And a lot of those organizations really get into making their floats look really good, trying to stay with whatever the theme is that particular year.
The Autumn Lake.
That's what this should be, the Autumn Lake Healthcare Float Unit. And you can see they're walking around the crowd, passing out candy. Soon we will have the Elkins Middle School. Did you teach in middle school too?
No, actually, a lot of people thought I did, but I spent several years coaching those sports.
That's why I've never seen you.
Of course, Jason Baker, he and I have been buddies for years. What a band director he is.
Right.
My hat's off to him. He's been here for years and years. I believe retirement's on his horizon coming up soon. We haven't talked. Well, we talked several months ago, and it seems like it's coming up to that time when he's going to get ready to give it up. There's going to be some big shoes to fill.
Those will be big shoes to fill. You're right. Yeah. He always has a good product with his band. That's right.
Very likable person. The kids love him. He loves him. All the teachers and staff in the middle school love him. Yes. It was always fun to work with him because he would say, "Hey, Ted, you got this part. I have this. You can work something."
Sure.
Sure. He's putting in his time and effort and duties into what makes this as well as others. And it's funny that you mentioned it because last night I was in town at the football game and I ran into some former athletes that I had, and they said, "Are you still teaching in middle school?" And I spent my career in elementary.
Okay.
I was 18 years at Colton Elementary and 17 at James Randolph.
Okay. This should be the Department of Agriculture, West Virginia ground, right? Followed by yes, Pioneer Insurance Firms. And that looks good. Well decorated.
Yes, indeed. And another good thing too about this small breaks in the parade is, it gives the crowd an opportunity to just get up and stretch
Yes.
and say hey to their buddies as they walk by.
Yes, that's right.
And could this be Bethany Fortney, Miss Valentine Queen?
I think that's who we have.
She sure looks like it. Valentine Queen.
Yes.
And it's just amazing how pageants from everywhere eventually find their way to Elkins for the Mountain State Forest Festival. And of course, pageants from Randolph County and Elkins and surrounding areas always find their way to other
Oh, yes.
festivals and parades.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we take our whole court travels every year religiously to Buchanan for the Strawberry
Yes.
Festival.
And don't you guys go to the Buckwheat as well?
Yeah, we do. Many. Yes. Most years we go to the
Yes.
Buckwheat Festival. And that should be the Buchanan Mayor, Robbie Skinner. He's done a wonderful job being mayor over there.
Oh, tremendous, yes.
I know Robbie. I knew his dad. His dad was very helpful. Both of my children went to Wesleyan and were undergraduate, and Mr. Skinner was a great help to those my kids when they were over there.
And I'm sure middle school band. And again, Ray, I love all bands. It would be hard for me to pick.
Sure.
Who's good? They're all good. But who would be the better ones? I don't know. Like I said,
I'm assuming, were you in the band growing up?
actually, no.
Okay.
And if I had it to do over again, I had a lot of other responsibilities that I had to do.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I've never been a band kid, but traveling with the trumpeters for many years as I've been doing that. They're great kids, and really I'm supportive of kids being in the band.
yeah, but you have the respect of all the directors and how much work they put into it, all the students and the time that they put into it. Now I can remember when my sons were in band, and sometimes what happened when we're first playing their instruments. And
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
But then as time goes, it's like watching them grow up.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we were just handed a note that there is going to be a QR code on the screen at some point in time for people to do People's Choice. They can scan the QR code and vote on the People's Choice Award for floats that are going by.
How cool is that?
Yes. So yeah, we technology is definitely hitting the Forest Festival Grand Feature Parade. Our first year of a live stream, and now we're going to have a QR code for people to have a People's Choice Award for the floats.
And the Strawberry Festival royalty float just passed us. And now the YMCA. Hey. YMCA, I can't say enough about the Elkins YMCA. I grew up here. I was always a part of the YMCA. And back in the day when John Pennington was director, I know you remember John.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And, I'll be honest with you, the YMCA kept me out of trouble, right?
Yeah.
And it gave me somewhere to go and for me to do some of the things that I'm doing today. If it weren't for the YMCA, I probably would have never been a teacher, a referee, a coach. I mean, that's all the things that the YMCA did for me.
Yes, yes.
And I can't say how much that I'm appreciative of them and the Parks and Recreation Commission with Phil Gaynor and Sam Severino.
Sure.
Between the three of them and John Pennington, I mean,
Sure.
awesome.
Well, three of my 4 grandchildren have been playing sports here at the Y, whether it be Y basketball, swimming.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Y has a big part.
Yes,
And
swimming.
I mean, look at all the things the Y is doing for the Forest Festival this week. We're here.
Yeah.
There was the forestry display in here, quilt display in here. So many years we have the photography exhibits and an award ceremony in here.
Okay, and the tiny Beverly Days Cooper Tracy passed us, and the Parkersburg High School Marching Band. And, in the YMCA too, many years ago, I'm sure you were either on the board of directors or were part of it when I ran the Jerry West basketball program for years.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. And that was my high school job. I was part-time program director here and special event coordinator for Parks and Recreation.
And I think coming up we got Petersburg, right? Petersburg High School Marching Band. Oh yeah, here's somebody good. Look at this one. I guess that's why they call it ex-pogos.
Wow.
He was getting some major air there, wasn't he?
Yes,
on his
he
jumps? He was definitely major air.
And then we had the Barber County Fair Queen, Lindsay Weiss. But ex-pogos, can you imagine how much time you have to put into that just to get it right? I don't think I could jump 2 feet in the air now at my age, and let alone get on a pogo stick.
Right. I'd like to keep my feet firmly on the ground.
Yeah, God gave them to me to keep them there, yes.
Yes, that's right.
And of course, the YMCA also hosts the Rotary
Yes,
Club every Monday at 12:30.
that's
12:30,
correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And just another place, and all the facilities that they have here, the swimming pool being one of the bigger ones,
Right.
the racquetball courts, and of course the gymnasium. We can't forget that.
And this is the New Jersey Camden County Emerald Society Bagpipe Band.
And you always got to love the bagpipers.
Yes, indeed. I had another note about that bagpipe band. Camden County Emerald Society Pipes and Drums were formed in 1995 by members of the Chapter 10 of the Emerald Society of the state of New Jersey, who realized the need for a police and fire unit band. So that band is comprised of active and retired police officers, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and former U.S. military members.
Wow.
And here comes the Coca-Cola polar bear.
Check it out. They're giving out Coke.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think they can get one up to us.
No, I don't think so. It'd be nice, refreshing to have one now, wouldn't it?
Right. Okay, and here comes the Beverly Fireman's Queen, Kendall Corley, whose parents are Keith and Beth Corley of Elkins. Keith Corley is an assistant director of the Forest Festival this year.
Right.
And doing a great job.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Beautiful daughter.
Kendall, I believe, was one of our former jesters.
Oh, really?
Yes. And you talk about a fierce competition. The competition for the jesters, my goodness.
I can only imagine.
And how many of these young girls look forward to being able to join that competition and hope to one day become a jester at the Forest Festival?
And just another actually sport that consumes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and lots of talent.
Yes, yes. So there's the Elkins Mountain School float, which won first place.
Yeah. And the music goes right along with the theme, West Virginia. Looks like Preston County Marching Band.
Yep, there we go, Preston County.
The Knights. For a small band, they sure sound good.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, indeed. It's not always the size that makes it that way. Not always the size. You know?
Right.
The talent that's within them and the leadership that they have. I mean, that speaks volumes.
Yep, they sound good. Well, there's a very old vehicle right there.
Budweiser.
Several older vehicles.
Wow.
stop.
How much longer after the parade will the band competition be? Do you know the starting time of that?
4 o'clock,
maybe?
I think so.
Okay, 4 o'clock. Sounds about right. Are you going to be heading over there?
I will probably run up that way, yes.
Wow, these old distributor trucks, that's amazing.
Yeah, they are. So are we going live with our QR code? It should be you should be able to see that on our screen and be able to point your camera at that QR code if you want to participate in voting on the People's Choice Award.
Sure, why not? Let your voice be heard. I mean, everything is wonderful, but, hey, yours could be the one to pick.
Oh, here's another crowd favorite is this vehicle that shoots cannon that has T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I know people look forward to this unit being in the parade.
And I have never been fortunate enough to get one of those.
No, nor have I.
But it's still neat to watch them and watch the kids go crazy over them,
Oh, yeah,
chasing them.
absolutely.
And,
I think this is another.
Oh, look here. Jitney.
Oh, yeah, the JC
Oh, boy.
Jitney.
Wow. That is something.
Again, we didn't have that in the festival parade for several years because they were working on the vehicle and trying to get it back in shape to be able to go to parades again. And
not sure who exactly fixed it, but kudos to them.
Yes, and they've been actively
I'll tell you what,
going
they
out.
just shot a shirt that maybe, oh, look at that. It's high enough to open the windows. It's high enough to make it up here. But yeah, the Jitney, I can remember that as a kid. That was one of my favorite, all-time favorite of the festival to see that come through.
Yes, and there they are.
Popping those wheelies and, oh.
Now, did you ever get to riding that yet, Jim?
No, sir, I haven't.
We'll see if we can do that for you next
Have
year.
you?
No.
Well, maybe both of us can do it. A first for both of us.
Right.
Only one condition, though. You have to drive. I'm not pumping this.
Oh, no, I'm not going to drive.
Well, we can find a driver, I'm
Yes.
sure. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Maybe Phillips Colson could be a driver for us, huh?
He'd probably enjoy that.
He would. I think I could trust him. As long as I have my seatbelt. Oh.
And this should be Miss West Virginia Trout Festival Queen,
Oh, wow.
Darcy Knight.
It's amazing the trout fishing places around this area. I grew up fishing all the time, trout fishing, and taught my kids to fish. And maybe one of these days when my grandson gets a little older, Did you do much trout fishing?
A little bit, more and more so with the grandchildren. Tried to do some trout fishing about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and unfortunately the lack of water in our streams hurt us quite badly.
Yes. Clay Battelle Marching Band. Yes, this drought is, man, honestly, Ray, I can't remember the last time we've had it this bad.
I know. We did get some rain earlier this week, but even though it rained hard for a couple days, it's still not enough to get our streams back to where they should be. So I'm sure the trout population took a hit.
Yes, for sure. And then I even saw pictures of Blackwater Falls.
Oh yeah, nothing.
How sad was that?
Really, that's right.
And then, of course, former Mayor Van Broughton would take pictures of Cheat with no water in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Miss Preteen Bridge Day, Jessica Ardrum. Bridge Day is a very big event too.
Oh my gosh,
Woo.
yes.
And I tell you, it just, when I see people jumping off that bridge. Ooh.
Yeah, what is it? 875 feet.
That sounds about right.
They have a website. Yeah, that's quite an experience that I don't want to go through.
No, me either. And it's just.
What a popular weekend down there.
Exactly. Yes.
For the Summersville area.
And I have been to Bridge Day a couple times, and it's a nice festival as well. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And now that's down in the area of our latest national park.
Yeah, exactly. What have we here?
I think we have a float from the Rivers of Living Water Ministries float.
Oh, cool.
Followed right away by the Buffalo High School marching band.
That's a beautiful float.
Yes, it is. Very colorful. Again, we're fortunate. What a gorgeous day we had.
Yes. Buffalo bison. Oh. And again, not an extremely big band, but listen to the quality.
Yeah. You know, it's just hot enough today. I don't think I'd want to be marching.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a pretty long
with
route.
With a full uniform on.
Yeah.
So you got to give these kids credit, getting out there.
And not only that, they're going to the band show afterwards to perform.
That's right.
And you know that AstroTurf's going to be very hot.
Yeah, this is a long, rough day for these kids. We have several units from this same group coming up.
Shriners, yes.
And you know, they always put a lot of units in our parade. They come from different areas of the state, but they all seem to gather up in Elkins for the Mountain State Forest Festival parade.
And you know, another worthwhile cause would, you know, to be a part of the Shriners. They are just awesome.
A great organization. Once again, we thank Polino Contracting for being the chief sponsor of the Grand Feature Parade for the 86th Mountain State Forest Festival, and for Colson Media for allowing us to have the capability of live streaming our parade this year.
Yeah, and hopefully you're able to catch it and able to enjoy it.
While we watch the Shriners float, and those vehicles they're riding called the bar stools. And they look like a fun ride as well.
Oh, yes. And the clowns.
And the clowns.
It's amazing how small those little motorcycles are.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's just amazing.
Well, the folks riding them have a lot of fun, and the folks washing them have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Wonder how many miles to the gallon those things.
Oh, yeah. Probably pretty good.
Probably a lot better than what we get with
But I
ours.
don't think I would want to sit on them for a long drive.
in the temple. Ooh.
Got some mountain men in here
Yeah.
making some noise.
And it's always good to see the entertainment, and not only that, but the lifestyle that they show over at
Yes.
the Davis College.
Right. Yeah, the primitive campers
Yeah.
that are set up over there.
And that was one of the, well, there were lots of favorites when I take my kids my students to the park, but they were really intrigued with the way these primitive people were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a stop. It's like, wow.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and those people really get into it and showing kids history
Yes,
of how things were done.
indeed.
Yeah, they put a lot of time and effort into their crafts over there.
Mm-hmm.
So some more Shriner vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's good for all these people from different areas to come and, you know, be a part of this, and the camaraderie, you know, I'm sure is just awesome. And here's some more clowns. And look at the people following, hoping to
Oh
get.
yeah, hoping to get something that they're passing out there.
Yes. And yes, the little girl got one.
Good. She was
Yes.
she was working hard,
Yes, she
chasing
was.
chasing
There
them
she's
down.
going back, and I bet she has a smile on her face.
Yes.
Hey, I want more, she says. Oh. Shriners Hospital. Man, what amazing what they do.
Yes, it is.
It's just amazing. And you know, one of the organizations to give to if you can, definitely is to that.
It is very worthy cause. And now we've got a group from Casego from Snowshoe Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Which should be followed by the Miss Mountain State Watermelon Festival, Queen Bristol Coverley.
All right.
I don't know where the Watermelon Festival is. Do
I'm
you know
not
what
sure
town
either. No. But wherever it's at, I'm sure it's just as important to them as the Forest Festival does here in Elkins.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Looks like the Tucker County Fair Royalty Float, which will be the end of Division 1, and we'll be starting Division 2 of the Grand Feature Parade.
And again,
Division.
thanks to House Hunter Real Estate for Division 1.
Correct. And Division 2 is presented by the West Virginia Lottery. Have you been over there to see all those folks
You
play
know,
in the lottery?
And I have, honest to God, Ray, I have driven by there a couple times wanting to get out, but it's so crowded. But if you don't play, you don't win.
That's
so
right.
That's going to be my fault, right?
Had a person show me this morning. They bought a scratch-off ticket from the West Virginia Lottery. They scratched it off and won $500.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. So he was on his way over to collect his winnings.
Cashing in, yes.
Yes. It's always good when you can do that.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I don't seem to be that fortunate when I scratch one of those
I'm
things
not
off.
either. Yeah, I'm just donating to the cause.
Correct.
The people that are going to win.
Correct.
Yes.
But you know, the West Virginia Lottery has always been a strong supporter of the festival, and
Yes.
you know, for something like, you know, helping with the parade or some other things that they've helped us with over the years. So leading off Division II is Tigard Valley High School Marching Band.
Yes. Yeah, they sound extremely well as well. Yeah. And it looks like the Mountain Gymnastics Academy behind them. And I could never do what these ladies do.
No, you know.
And then, of course, you know, for several years, Mayor Jerry Marco taught gymnastics here at the YMCA.
Correct.
He and his wife Paula.
Well, up until last year, he was our jester coach
Wow.
for the jesters. He and his wife were the jester coaches, and I think they finally decided they needed to take a year off and take a rest.
Very talented husband and wife combo, and glad to have him as mayor and his wife.
Yep, very engaged
Great
in the
people,
community.
Yes. And, you know, Paula at one time was also a cheerleader coach for Elkins High School cheerleaders.
Didn't know that.
And then, of course, she got a lot of help from Jerry.
Sure.
You know. Man, look at those moves those girls make. It's just amazing. The cartwheels and the back bends and
Oh yes.
somersaults, everything they do. Makes me want to be younger again
Yeah.
to try it.
Younger being the key word. It's good hearing band music.
Sure is. And several of the little girls on the float, you know, of course we did get the demonstration from the girls ahead.
Yes. So this is still the Mountain Gymnastic Academy.
Mm-hmm. Nice colorful fall float. The one thing that I miss with teaching is when I would be going back to school this coming Monday, and my kids would say, "Mr. Triplett, did you see us in the parade? Did you see us at?
Oh,
did
yeah.
you see us at the carnival?"
Yes. So much about everything that goes on this week is about the kids.
It is. Yeah, sure is.
So we've got the next two units are groups of motorcycle riders from the American Legion. We have Post 29 and also Post 31.
Yep, Post 29 is right here. Yeah. Now, field show is at 4:45 at the high school, and the West Virginia Marching Band will be there.
Thanks for that update.
Yes. You're just a little over an hour away. And that place will be packed.
Yes, it will. Okay, and here's something I'm really not familiar with at all, but Camp Morning Wood.
I'm not either.
It looks like they're from Buchanan, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm. On the Middle Fork River.
And we're glad to have them
Yes, we are.
in our Forest Festival parade.
And is that Bigfoot that's on the float?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Pointing his finger at people. Yes, I'm here. Making voting a family tradition. Okay, who is this beautiful girl?
This should be Miss Military Star, West Virginia preteen, 2024, Brooklyn Eisner.
And that's exactly who it is.
And there's our friends from Channel 12, WBOI news personalities. And many of us watch on TV.
And I have to say, I miss Don Gray.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had just retired, and
Yes.
I can remember him for years and years and years.
Yeah, we're all going to miss Don Gray, that's
His
for sure.
personality, oh, it was
Yep.
something.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, and here's the 98.9 WD&E
Yes.
vehicle. And of course, that's who I work for the football games.
Okay.
And it looks like Roger Taylor's riding in the front, and he just retired.
That's right. Everybody's getting to that age.
Mm-hmm. Yes, WBRC Media. And here comes the amateur pro football team.
Have you seen any of theirs?
No, I have not.
I haven't
but I have
either.
talked a little bit to their coaches, and this year, they first year is always going to be the toughest year.
Sure.
And Eddie Gannon and the Manalitas boy, Eddie's the general manager of the team, and the Manalitas boy, who was a former Elkins high coach, is coaching the team, and they've had their lumps for the year, but they're trying to advertise and get bigger and grow.
Right.
And I'm sure what like rebuilding a team's like.
They're playing some of their games over at the Oldest and Broadest, right?
College.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And here we have Miss Parkersburg Homecoming Festival, Miss Callie James Casto.
Right.
And she's waving. Looks like she's having a lot of fun here.
Oh yes.
Followed by several units from Colton days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have Allison Bradbury, Miss Colton Spirit, Emma Hare, Miss Teen Colton, and Colton Day's royalty vehicle will be following. So yes, lots of good things from Colton, and of course, one wonderful event that happens at Colton every year is the Colton Days.
Colton Days Festival, that's correct.
And that's always a big thing.
It's
And,
right in my backyard.
yeah, and Mike Ross, fantastic job, that he's done throughout the years.
Talk about a
And
community,
he's another big supporter
community
of
leader.
everything. Yes,
And huge support for everything
everything
in the
yes.
community.
Yes, I always thought the man would get tired of hearing from me, because anytime I needed something like for school, I'd say, "Hey, Mike, Jim Triplett, what do you need, Jimmy?"
Yes.
And he always gave it to me.
Yes.
always came through. And of course, he's the big supporter of education through the newspapers.
That's right.
And has been since the beginning.
Yeah, just a great guy to have around us.
Yes, and he's donated so much to the local hospital and the children's hospitals. Just a wonderful man.
All of the colleges, from WVU
all
all the way
colleges.
down to
Yep,
here.
Yep. Just a fine gentleman. And then he and one of my distant cousins were best friends in high school.
Oh, really?
'Cause, yes, my family came. My granddad came from Italy to Colton.
Okay. Is the QR code still up? So if you
Okay.
see the QR code and you want to participate in the People's Choice Awards, feel free to point your camera at the QR code and follow the instructions and vote on the floats.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be a lot of votes. And again, you know, you might like something better than I do, but you know, we both have a choice in it. And if
Correct.
whoever else has liked the floats that we have liked, then they're a part of that process.
And I'm sure some will eventually get that information disseminated so everybody can see who were the winners. This is most likely Randolph County 4-H.
Yes.
Unit number 87 coming through.
And another wonderful organization, 4-H.
Yes, it is.
Wow. And you know, the things that go on there at Camp Pioneer and you know, all that, it's just amazing.
Yeah, the year I was the Director General, we did several events up at the 4-H camp, and they were great folks to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But always are. They're always great folks to work with.
Yes. Trying to see, is this still the Colton royalty?
If not, it might be Miss Autumn of the Dry Fork,
That's
Queen
what it is.
Morgan
yes.
Rains.
Good call there. Yes.
And the Dry Fork is definitely dry right now. We
Extremely
talked
dry.
earlier about
Yes.
the lack of rain and the need for rain.
Yeah. And definitely dry.
And here comes some of your heritage, the West Virginia Italian Festival, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Should be coming up right after the Randolph County Fair, Queen float.
And another big thing there with the Italian festival. And Elkins Motorsports as well too.
Yes. This should be the Randolph County Fair Queen's Float.
Mm-hmm. And I see a couple little ones sound asleep, the younger ones.
Okay, is that the West Virginia Italian Festival Queen?
I believe it is.
Antonia Folio.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Beautiful. Look at that dress. Wow. A beautiful red dress. Which I can see now. I'm not sure you will be able to see unless you look over your left shoulder. But what a dress that is.
Yes.
She'll be coming forward. Oh, check it out. Elkins Bengals youth football.
Yep.
And, great group of kids, future high school players. And, of course, DeManuel Smith, who does radio with me for the
Right.
Elkins High Tigers, he's one of the coaches here. And
Okay.
hats off to him.
Yes.
Very involved.
Our future football athletes.
Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, they go to Bridgeport tomorrow to play.
Okay. So these middle school age?
No,
Younger.
Younger, yeah.
Okay.
Emmanuel's group is like, oh God, what did he tell me? 5 to 7 maybe?
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
that's how, yeah. That's how young they are, yes.
Well, they're getting an early start.
Yes, indeed. And it's interesting too because in a lot of places, Ray, at this age, they only play flag football. But in this community and the league that they're in, it's full pads and full hits and
Oh my,
the whole 9
okay.
yards. Yes. And so, the coaches have to be extremely dedicated into showing the kids the proper technique on how to block, where to block, and know the gap. Well, all the football stuff that they need to know.
Sure.
But especially with the hitting and, and the correct methods. And, my hats go off to them. Like I did coach football at the middle school for several years. I'm not so sure I could coach at this level though. It's a little bit younger than what I would
Sure.
be comfortable with.
You're going to be more labor intensive of teaching them the game, and like you said, all the correct procedures.
Hmm. And that's where it starts.
Yes.
And I know that Coach Chad Ware has participated in a lot of their camps and have shown up to the games, and that means a lot to the kids and to the community. He's really changed things here at Elkins.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. He's done a great job.
Yes, indeed.
Jim, it's been great being with you.
It's been great
to broadcast
with you
this.
too. I appreciate you.
And
Ray.
again, we really want to thank Colson Media. We want to thank Chris Polino for being our main sponsor of the 86th Mountain State Forest Festival, and our division sponsors, WVU Medicine, House Hunters Real Estate. We thank everybody's support.
Yes.
And again, it's been a joy being with you.
Yes. Same
Appreciate
here.
you.
It's been an honor.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you. God bless and have a great festival.
All right. Enjoy your rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Need a pen?
Sure, I'll take one. Why not? Can always use a pen. Thanks.
Okay. So, Mr. Colson Media, are we still live?
We're clear.
We're